We have one last guest here, Reverend David Nelsestuen. I had it better earlier. He's currently serving Trinity Evangelical Lutheran Church in Edgerton, just down the road. It's kind of, you may wonder why we have these. I've noticed the bees are getting thicker in here, so that's what they're here for, not necessarily to whack bees too.
Well, Mary and I are very happy to be here. It's almost exactly 10 years ago that I came here as an intern in August of 2008. The first thing I want to say is that I've been a Norwegian all my life, and yet I had to come to Hollandale to really learn how to make lefse. I was just amazed. I mean, others have talked about this, but I was amazed at the assembly line process that you all have here to make lefse. And actually, I told Mary about it. I went home and I brought her back on Saturday so that she could see it, and then we came back the next year to get a refresher course. But it was also, again, as Mark said, it was just a community thing. It was a very, very fun thing to do. I'm very thankful for the opportunity to having served here as an intern. You all gave me the freedom to do things, even though behind my back you probably shook your head and wondered, what in the world is he doing? I enjoyed visiting you in your homes. I appreciated that, you opening up your homes to visit. Mary and I have lived in Janesville for 40-some years, and we had been there for over 30 years when we came here as interns. And at that time, well over 50,000 people. It's here where I really learned what community is about. The community, the village of Blanchardville, the village of Hollandale, and maybe a little bit of Mark as well. I learned a lot about what it means to be in community. And that is a gift, I think, that large cities or large towns and small cities don't have that you all have here. And I think it's important to recognize that. Mark mentioned the log cabin and coffee. Again, the community, learning to be in community with each other, whether you agreed with everything that everyone else said or believed or not, it doesn't matter. You can get along, and that's just a wonderful, wonderful thing. Some experiences that I had, going to the National Youth Gathering in the summer of 2009 was just a wonderful thing. Early on, Mark kind of alluded to it, and it was alluded someplace else too, but in the first month of my internship here, I wasn't allowed to preach unless Mark was there as supervisor, which is probably a really good idea. But with the three worship services, it was like a relay race. And so I'd hear Mark's sermon at the first place, and then I would go to the next one. And I remember and then he would show up sometime after the service started. I remember one time when the worship service here in Hollandale was the last one. And we got through the greeting, we got through the hymn of the day, we got through the prayer of the day, we got through the first lesson, the psalm, the second lesson, and I'm looking out the side door to see, where in the world are you? And so I start to read the gospel, and then I see Mark kind of coming in. So that was just an interesting dynamic of being in this place. But it was also the dynamic once I was able to preach on my own, the dynamic of being really practicing being a pastor, preaching at the first church and the last church one week, in the middle church the next week. I learned a lot. I think I'm not sure all the things I learned from Mark were good, but I learned a lot of good things from you. And I just want to say, I thank God for all of you and what you've done in forming my life in ministry and what the experience that Mary and I had while I was here. Thank you.